The big one. This.
You can see it kind of deflate a little bit. Except you get to eat it later. Oh, that's so cool. That's fresh. So anything that's good has to begin with a why. And the reasons to do sourdough is that there's never been a better time to be an American who wants to start something new. And never been a better thing to begin that's more sustainable than sourdough right now. There's something slow and sacred about watching that starter rise and going from the very beginning steps of a loaf, from taking out the starter all the way to those very last steps when you pull a fresh loaf with crusty bread on the outside, soft warm middle, and your family's enjoying it. This is something that's going to be passed down from generation to generation. Even this little starter is something that can go long beyond your own life. You can see all of the links below to the content for this week. So this is the perfect sustainable staple in your home, even more than growing your own food, which you're gonna have to wait 30 days for the smallest thing to grow, right? So all this recipe is gonna take is flour. This is Costco. It's a great organic brand, and you can get it in a 2-pack. You're gonna need purified water, your starter, and then a little later you're gonna need salt. But that's it, guys. So we're gonna equip you with every step of the way in this process, but you're gonna need to be prepared to make some really crummy loaves before you make really good ones.
It didn't work. Sourdough bread fail.
There's the fluffy, romantic part in me that just loves sourdough for everything intentional about it and ancient about it. Then there's the prepper, sustainable part about me that says everybody should not only know how to make sourdough, but should be doing it. The health benefits are phenomenal. You're gonna get this really great fermented food into your diet. But right now, you can't even go to the grocery store and buy a loaf of bread. Forget about eggs and vegetables and fruits that are fresh. Right now, you need a skill in your home that's going to set you up for success, so that if all else fails, you can at least get bread on the table for your family for any meal out of the day. Your 3 ingredients that you need are flour, salt, water, and then your starter. And starter's probably a whole nother video that we just don't have time for today. But there are some websites out right now that are shipping these bad boys. The best thing though that you can do, which goes right back to the romance, is find somebody near you who has a starter. There's not a single person who is baking sourdough that wouldn't love to give you a starter and help you begin. Okay, let's mix this bad boy. The best thing about sourdough is you don't need a fancy bread machine. You don't need any instant yeast packets, which are really hard to find on the shelf right now. Your starter is gonna do that for you. But the one thing that you absolutely have to have in order to bake this bread is your digital scale. So this is one just from Amazon. You can pick them up anywhere. All right, so we're gonna use 400 grams of water. You can use any filtered water. This is from our Berkey. If you don't have one, now's a really good time to get one, and there's a link below. Then tare it again, and now we're gonna put in just 100 grams of starter, and you're gonna see how little that is. Check out this bad boy. Like, we put this in, it's grown, it's doubled in size. All those happy little bubbles. Bo's really excited from behind the camera.
Sorry.
Okay, so now it's going to,
You're gonna know that it's good
when it floats. If you like kitchen things that are not messy, you're gonna hate sourdough. So this starter is not gonna blend super smoothly. You're gonna need your hands to kind of get in there and just mash up any little pieces of that flour and water from this sourdough starter that didn't quite incorporate. So this recipe is a total of 600 grams of flour. We have our own little twist on that, and you can use different ratios of different types of flour. Lots of people like einkorn or even a bread flour. But hang with me on this because I promise the flavor of this will blow your socks off. So I use an all-purpose flour. Like I said, it's just from Costco, and I use 525 grams of this. And then rye. I feel like this is a secret weapon of mine when it comes to making sourdough. Kelly, why is your sourdough so great? It's just made with love. And rye. So 75 grams of that rye plus the 525 is gonna give you a total of 600 grams. You just start clawing it out like a bear after honey. All right, tearing it again. So we're gonna get the 75. So see that rye? And that's almost the last time you're gonna need this scale. Don't put it away just yet. You need it for the salt.
What? What do you want?
We are not having cereal and milk. You're gonna have some bread in a little bit.
No, you used your hands.
Hates
Gross.
to use the hands.
So gross.
So if you don't
see, you just now wasted like a whole slice of bread on your fingers. 2 reasons why I use a silicone spatula for
Don't
this.
eat the butter.
1, because then you don't waste like literally like a slice of bread because you waste it. 2, it saves your plumbing because you have to wash your hands.
She just called me by my name.
Why does she keep calling you Kelly?
Finley.
Who's mommy? What's mommy's name?
I can't really describe to you all the science of what's happening right here in this bowl right now, but you've just mixed together your flour, your water, and your starter. And if you tried to work this dough, you'd find a really poor end result. So instead, we let it wait for 20 minutes. And during that Autolyse time, magic is happening in this bowl so that you're gonna have the most amazing sourdough in the end. And in 20 minutes, we're gonna add these 12 grams of salt. You've autoed your lease, and now you add your salt.
How much?
12 grams. And then I keep a wet, like a bowl of water so that my hands don't get as grimy as they were before, right? And then you just mix it up, and your hands can feel that incorporation of the salt into the dough. This is where it gets like really lovely and romantic, and you can just imagine this being dough. Like I think this is the first part where it actually begins to seem like it's dough. Now you wait 5 minutes, and you're gonna do the best move in the whole shebang, the slap and fold. You dig that bad boy, that huge ball o' dough out. Obviously, we're using all the technical terms here. On unfloured surface. These scrapers come in really handy because you see all that left over? This is gonna help. Okay, the slap and fold is exactly what it sounds like. We're gonna pick up this wad o' dough, slap it on here, and then I'm gonna fold over the back side of that dough. I wish we had slow-mo right here.
I can do
Pick it up, slap, and fold it over. Then you turn it by grabbing one side, the left side usually, slap, pull it back, and fold over. You can't overdo this step. So you know that you're ready when you start to feel some tug back and your dough begins to take shape. It's very rhythmic, super good for tension or stress or thoughts about quarantine.
Take out your energy.
All your quarantine energy out on your loaf. All right, let's do one last one. And then that big lumpy glob of dough away. Get your scraper back out. Clean this up and just add it to the lump. Okay, you've been babysitting this little sourdough baby for a while now. Really intricately, super detailed. Now, you're gonna wait for 40 minutes until you touch it again, and at that time, you're gonna do the stretch and fold. While you wait, get a damp towel, set it on top, and then go do your chores.
Those bugs are bad.
What are we gonna do with it?
We need to throw to the chickens.
Okay, grab it.
No.
Why? Pick it up.
No. You do it. I
All right.
don't want to touch it.
We need a bucket.
Yeah, we need a bucket. And another bug. Those bugs.
We're gonna feed them to the chickens.
And another bug. Those bugs are really hungry.
What?
And that bug. Those bugs are really hungry.
What are we gonna do to these bugs?
We gotta find out.
What are we gonna do with them?
We gotta go in there and bring those bugs to chickens. So, whoa, that's a lot of bugs. Bugs. Whoa, that's a lot of bugs.
Yeah, say yum, yum, yummy.
And the chicken's tummy.
There you go, chicken.
They are really hungry.
So there's the line. So we definitely have 2,400 gallons. Babe, we have 2,400 gallons
Babe,
of
we have
water.
2,400 gallons of water.
Give me.
Okay, so the stretch and fold is just you literally getting under the dough, stretching it up, folding it over, and then you turn the bowl a quarter of a turn. And that's something you're gonna do 4 times. Okay, so I think the smartest thing on the homestead is to know your strengths. And we have discovered loaf after loaf after loaf that shaping is not my strength. So I'm gonna turn it over to Bo and he's gonna show you how to rock a really great shape.
Okay, so.
Shape it, baby.
Yes, it has doubled in size. However time you want to do it, it's looking good. Maybe just did a little bit too much, but that's okay.
Do you
It's still
notice
good.
the shape?
It's still the
Dome.
cone, the dome. Okay, so you're gonna want flour and a scraper. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna try to scrape it out, and you want to keep as much airiness as you can. And you're gonna take it out on an unfloured countertop.
I know, which always seems so unusual, but don't flour it yet.
Yes. And then get all this stuff.
Super, super sticky dough.
Unfloured countertop on here. Then what you're gonna do, and we have a little bit smaller working space, hashtag tiny house. Then what you're gonna do is you're gonna liberally flour the top of it. And then the key is then you're going to flour the next side of your countertop. Because what you want is we're gonna flip it and we're gonna try to create one floured non-sticky side, and then the underneath side that's on the countertop, that's gonna be the sticky side. We're gonna try to use that sticky side as Velcro to get
Hold
the shape.
your dough together.
Yeah, then now that your hands were wet, now is the time that you wanna flour your scraper. Just wanna get under it and then flip it upside down as fast as you can.
Trying to keep those air bubbles that you've
Yep.
grown overnight.
There we go. So that's what you see. Now we have one side, and then you want to kind of stretch it out a little bit. Now what you're going to do is you're going to build like just a little rectangle. There we go, like that. And then if any of you have ever had a baby and you swaddled, you kind of understand this. You're going to go bottom to top. And
Bottom
then,
to middle.
yeah, sorry, bottom to middle. And then I like to pinch these seams. It just helps with the the crust, crumble, whatever you call that. And then top to middle.
So it's kind of like a little swaddled burrito.
And then you take this and you roll it. Just like that. And then what you're going to have is you're going to have these two big seams, like these, whatever you call it, what do you call that? These two end parts that weren't rolled. Now that the seams are only on the sides, now what you're going to try to do is get those seams underneath the loaf, the dough. So what you're going to try to do is take, you want to cup your hands like this and use your pinkies. And you want to stretch it.
That's for the stickiness of the dough.
Exactly. And this is the pre-shaping also. So sometimes for mine, depending on how the dough does, is it might be more of like an elongated thing. We're now going to let it sit for 20 minutes. And that will help those seams. And we're going to come back and do a final shaping to make it nice and pretty before we put it in the basket. Good? All right, it's been 20 minutes now. We're going to go ahead and finish it up. I like to, I don't need to waste that. I'll just use some of this other flour because this was a clean countertop. I'm going to flour the top. We're going to, this is whenever I do use the scraper. We're just going to tighten it up a little bit more. We really don't have to do that full shape again. We're just going to try to scoop the seam back under. Because right in that time that it rested, this is, oh, that was called the bench rest.
So we're just trying to shape it.
Yeah.
So that it can keep fermenting in that same shape.
So then what I do is I just like to get, it nice and floury because you don't want it to stick in the basket. Now, okay, you can go wide. Okay, so we have this little shaping basket. You don't need this. We did get it on Amazon. I can put the link down below. You could just do a regular, like baking bowl or something like this. Even
don't leave it
any kind of
dough?
No, yeah, we're behind on that. And just put like a tea towel or some kind of towel like in there. We usually have like some sort of towel on this, but we kind of like the pretty shape that it does. So then what you're gonna do, whatever kind of bowl you have or basket, you're going to
flour it up.
Flour it up. Kind of the same that you want is what we're going to do is we're going to flip it upside down. And so the top is going to be the bottom. So you just want to take your scraper, get underneath it.
Mom, I found a Band-Aid.
Just like that. And so this that's facing up will end up being the bottom of the loaf.
Right.
So then I just get some more of this flour, waste not, and I flour all around here because you don't want it to stick. That's the worst is whenever you do all your work and then it like sticks and then it just ruins the whole shape. Cover it, and then I would say here in Texas, because temperature always matters, you're going to want to keep this. You can put it in the fridge overnight, or what we're going to do is we're going to let it sit on the countertop for about 4 hours until it kind of rises a little bit.
Do this.
Yes. Yay, bread. It's right over there. We still never did the dishes last night. People are gonna think that we have to wake up at 5 o'clock to make bread. You can do this during the
Only if you have to make a video for YouTube. She's a pregnant one.
She's the big one. This one.
Girl's been rising a long time.
So sweet.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, how do I get over there?
It fits in this.
She bounced. Baby got
Okay,
back.
oh my gosh, so big. Let's carve this bad boy. Remember, this is a rye loaf, so it's gonna crack unless you tell it where to crack. Oh my gosh, she is blobby. You can see it kind of deflate a little bit. One last one. It's harder to see without flouring the top. Stand back. Ready? That's one hot pot. I don't know why all my loaves are like these. She's not fitting in the bottom, babe.
Goodness. We've gotten like good at sourdough through the winter.
Yes, that's
and
true.
And now it's just warmer.
We haven't adjusted to the warmth.
It's just rising and getting huge. Alright, talk to me about times and temperature.
So our oven's at 500 and you're gonna run it for 22 minutes. Then you take the lid off, drop down your temperature to about 435 and run it for another 20. So it just cooked for that 500 degrees. Okay, now we're gonna bump it down to 430 and then cook it for another 20. Okay, this is my favorite part. It's like unwrapping presents, except you get to eat it later. Oh, it's so cool. So we have a flat lid. You can see that it hit the top right there and burned a bit, but it's gonna be so good.
Are you so excited?
I do like this part, but I'm telling you, taking that top off is my favorite.
Taking that top off is always your favorite.
That's fresh. Oh my God. This is the worst part because you want to eat it. And you have to wait.
Well, as soon as they wake up.
The cool part is, as it cools, you'll hear sort of the air pockets expanding and I don't know what's happening in there, but the dough makes this crackle sound from the inside on the crust, against the crust. It's so cool. It's like snap, crackle, pop. Sour, don't you want to eat it? Get it?